Alright, so I didn't get the camera out when I first started this morning, but I got the bottom siliconed all the way around this. We had to take the box off back here, but we got silicone put all around the bottom to seal the underside of the wood there. And I went ahead and attached the door. So I got the latch on there to hold it shut. And then once you open it, I've mounted up the little box that'll hold, keys, registration, stuff like that on the inside for the boat. So that'll get mounted up in there. It's a tight fit, which is what I was looking for. Get top in there. And then we're going to go ahead and on the sides where the bow holders are, I'm going to put a piece of neoprene where the cams are going to touch. So I'm going to go get my neoprene out, get it cut, and we'll figure out where they need to sit and get that mounted up. So I'm going to pause this while we go get that stuff ready. Alright, so like I said, we're going to run this neoprene, got a piece for each side, go just like that. Yeah, that's length. So just like that on each side, it'll be a 6-inch piece right where the cams are going to hit. So I'm not really going to set it to this necessarily because the string will still set it off of it and it'll be okay. I just got to mark it. So let's go ahead and fold this one in half. I'll cut this in half. Alright, so we are putting a couple extra safeties for the trolling motor here. Since this is plastic sticks off, we're going to weld one of these on each side like this. So that way this has some impact resistance on it in case we were hit a dock or something else.
This is replaceable if you break that.
Yeah. So we got to pull the trolling motor off so we can do that. So we're going to get the bolts out and then go ahead and tack this in place, then move the trolling motor, weld it in place, and then paint it. So that's what we're doing now. Alright, I'm going to pause this. We're going to get the boat under the trailer under the boat and get it pulled out so we can work on the fish finder at the back and then do the motor. So I'm going to pause it for a minute. Alright, so now we're going to get the fish finder mounted up. We got the boat on the trailer and out. Should be the last time that thing will be in the garage now because we're just doing some final touches here. So we're going to get the back of the pontoons cleaned up a bit for getting those old letters off, and then we're gonna get ready to get the transducer mounted and get the fish finder mounted and all the wires run. Alright, so a couple more little finishing touch things here. I'm mounting these clear waterproof bins. They're going to get set up and screwed down into this. Actually, I have So I want to catch my pieces in here, so they're going to be mounted about there and about there. Looks pretty good. So those will get attached. I'm going to put some silicone under them. I'm going to pre-drill them, and I'm just going to squirt a little shot of silicone under each foot and then run my screws in. That way they're sealed around the screw hole And that'll just give us some storage for cell phones and stuff like that. Where's my silicone? Alright, so I gotta get in here again. I've got cables hanging down here, power cable and the transducer cable from the fish finder that is mounted right here. They're plugged in, routed up and down through, so I've got to get these set up, and I've got the power cable. I got to crimp ends onto it and drop them into the terminal blocks. So I'm gonna get started on that. I do need to grab some shrink tube real quick. Alright, so I'll give you one final overview of in here. I'm 100% done working inside of this finally. It's all cleaned up good. I've got the fish finder wires run down through here and attached, so they're mounted up over here and they're in good shape. And I've got all my cables for anything battery related all comes to here. So you've got your power trim and tilt, the motor itself, and the main battery lead, and then you've got the up here you can see you got these red and black are for the green and red on the front, and then one of them is for the white light that's here. That'll go up obviously when you're at night. But as you see, everything's nice and clear. I already showed you this before, but just one final overview here as we're wrapping up the boat. Everything looks good. It's clean and ready to go. So you can see where our steering comes through. It's a nice easy slope down. That all came out good. So everything in here is good. On the door mounted our fire extinguisher, and we've got our orange box. I've got the remote for the trolling motor. It's not in there right now because I gotta charge that, so I left it out to remind myself I'm gonna take it upstairs so I can charge that thing, make sure it's fully charged. I'm gonna plug the onboard charger back in here in a second so I can keep tending these batteries, make sure that they're fully ready to go. I'm hoping, it's currently Monday, I'm hoping Sunday we're gonna get this thing on the water. I just wrapped up pretty much all the little things that are left to do on this. I haven't put the gates on over here and there and in front of the motor here. Haven't done those yet. I may leave them off for a little bit, see how I like it without them. May not put them on, may end up putting them on, I don't know, we'll see. But see how I'm feeling this week. But if you turn around, I'll kind of show you what I got with the motor back here. We got it running and it was looking good. However, as you can see, we had to pull the lower unit because the water pump was not pumping any water, so it was not cooling the engine. And we pulled it apart and we figured out why. It's because this flapper is pretty much shot, as you can see. So got a new water pump coming. It's either going to be here tomorrow or Wednesday. And once that's here, we'll be able to put the lower unit back together, get the water pump on there, and we should be 100% ready to roll. That'll be a pretty quick job, and we'll be good. Got the brand new starter on. Everything's working good on the power head. We just got to get that lower unit functional. But well, as I said, everything's in really good shape, working really good, and we are pretty much ready to roll here. I got my new bow fishing bow set up the other day, which is the Fin Finder F31. I can show you that real quick. Let me get out from behind this boat. It's sitting right out here. It was on the deck of the boat. I had to move it. So it's the new Fin Finder F31. I've got it set up with the Fin Finder current rest and then an AMS bottle reel. I haven't put my arrow on it yet because I'm swapping out these slides. We're going to try the interlock slides. They're the constructor, like a stainless spring, so it should help to grip the arrow better when you're pulling on a fish and help take some of the strain off of the screws. So So I got those to put on there. I'm going to put them on all our bows, so I haven't done that yet. But we've also got the new fin finder 3-blade head here, so we're going to give those a go. See how well they work. My brother had some issues with pins coming out, so we messed with them. We went around the 3 pins that are in there and hit them with a punch, so hopefully that'll spread them out and they'll stay in. But we're gonna give them a try. They sent us some new ones actually too, so we'll see how they work. But like I said, hopefully this upcoming Sunday we'll be taking this thing out. It's all ready to go. Those are painted on there nice. Got some shielding and some protection for the lights here, and we should be in really good shape here. So that's where I'm gonna stop today. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more done with the video editing for the motor video, which I'm gonna go ahead. That video's done. I'll put the last little bit in this video, because this video is basically consisting of all the finishing touches, and then it'll have a reveal of the whole boat sitting on the trailer once we're 100% done. So let's go ahead and stop it for now, and we're just about done. Alright, so we had to pull the lower unit because the water pump was not working, and when we pulled it, the actual pump was pretty much shot. So that's what the one came out, and that's what they're supposed to look like. So we're doing a quick tear down and put a new one in. We're going to pull some of these and just check them, put them back in, torque them. Trim this down. Let's get the trailer under here. And
did you have this on there?
Yeah, you can see it.
What this is a test wheel, and it creates the necessary load and resistance. It moves a little bit of water because it has fins in it. And this one was supposed to be for a 40 through like 150 or something. It says 50 horsepower right on it. So it worked, but we had to put a shim in it. I don't know why, but it'll work fine. But that way you can put it up wide open throttle in a test tank or just on the trailer dipped in the water. And that's what it's for.
Yep, so we'll do that Sunday when we get it on the water first. And
alright, so
go from there.
We'll kill this for now?
Yep, because we gotta get a trailer under this. Alright, so got the boat out of the garage. You can see on pontoon over here, we taped the line for the transducer. So kick the water on, we're going to turn on the motor and make sure our water pump's working. All right, so here's one final walkthrough of the boat. I put some little finishing stuff on it over the last evening and today, and we are ready to hit the water. So, quick overview of everything that we did. Starting from the very beginning, we stripped everything down, put all new cross members on this thing, put a new deck on it. We used this diamond plate deck that we got from Home Depot. Stuff's awesome. It's going to make a completely waterproof top for this, and it's got great grip. I've been on it, and after it rained the one day when we had it out, doesn't slip. It's going to be really awesome for bow fishing on. And then we added these new shelves in the back. The other ones were pretty flimsy, so we reinforced them, welded them to the back of the pontoon back here to give it a good, strong support to carry the fuel tank and the generator. So they're strapped in. We also completely rebuilt the transom. The only thing we reused was the arms that go underneath. Everything else, so we got all aluminum welded together. So this is a nice solid aluminum transom. It's very strong now. And we added in the power trim and tilt since this motor did not have one on it. And then as you see, we got the test prop on here. So the first thing we're going to do when we put it on the water is we're going to do the full throttle, wide open timing, and then we're going to swap back out to the regular prop where we'll do all the idle timing. Right now it's sounding pretty good, so we'll see. Hopefully we don't have to adjust too much. But once again, we got our generator on this side. I added my ground point for the generator, and you've got your power feed that goes into the console. As far as the back half of the trailer, we completely rewired it. It's all repainted, and we added in these supports here, so that way we could put a transom saver on here and take some of the bounce and play out of the motor to help keep it a little nicer on the transom here. For tie downs on the rear, we're just crossing from corner there to the corner. We got 2 ratchets for that. I just use cinch straps for this because you can get that plenty tight. This does not have much, if any, play in it. You end up rocking the whole boat. So these should be good for transport. We've got our fish bucket for transport purposes. I've got it back here. It's just a 40-gallon livestock trough. Underneath of it, we've got our life jackets for transport purposes, keep them from blowing away, anything like that. So all that's inside there. We put 20 lights on the boat. So I got these off of Amazon. They're 50 watt. They're a 3000 K range. So they are more of a yellow color, which will be better for the generally dirtier water that we bow fish in around this area. Like I said, we've got 20 of them on here. So they go all the way around. They do a real good coverage. When we turn them on at night, there's no dead spots that we can see. I'm really anxious to see how they are on the water. On the front of the trailer here, we added all of this fabrication here to pick up wider on the pontoon. Plus, with the center mount trolling motor that I did, the way the trailer was before, it just had a single contact point that wasn't correct and didn't even actually contact the front. So we've got these added on so they're wider. Everything clears the trolling motor. We added in this Y brace to a double bow eye point, so that way when you grab each bow eye and pull it up against these stops, it just locks the boat in place, and it's really nice. Underneath, on the underside, we added these polyethylene pads that go all the way back, so the trailer actually sits against the polyethylene pads and not against the aluminum. So it's going to help keep the boat and trailer from scraping at each other and help lengthen the life of those, keep the paint on the boat a little better, and it also allows for you to adjust the trailer underneath the boat pretty easily. We were able to shift it a little bit even with the whole weight of the boat sitting on it the other day when we dropped it in place. Right now we got it nice and centered, so if you have to adjust it a little bit while it's in the water, you can do that. So moving on up, as you can see down this side, looks just like the other side. On the front, we've got the red and green lights. They're LED strips on each side. We added a little protector piece here that'll help just keep branches, stuff like that, docks potentially from actually crushing those lights. And underneath the trolling motor, we also welded this these pieces on for the same purpose. If you hit a dock, a log in the water, something like that, if you bump something, it'll help protect the trolling motor because you'll catch it with the aluminum instead of catching it with the plastic on the front of that trolling motor there. So we'll come back here, we'll step up into the boat, I'll show you the console area. So I built the whole console. If you've been watching the videos, we reused the old steering wheel and throttle linkage. I added the power trim and tilt, which is functioned from here, and we've got our switches for the red and blue and the white light, which will be here, so that's your white marker light. I mounted the fish finder here. The fish finder itself is stored in there. I'll show you that in a minute. Our cords are here, so they stay nice tight right where you need them. Throttle control works good still, and the bow holders, you can put 3 bows on each side, so I can carry up to 12 bows on the boat. Never have that many people on this boat, but it doesn't hurt to have extra bows, be able to carry extra bows in case you have one go down. I've got 2 dry boxes on top to put wallets, cell phones, fishing license, stuff like that in the 2 boxes. And then on this side we've got all your switches and 2 white lights. So these white lights will turn on with this switch on the far side here, and what that allows is it lights up the front of the boat for taking pictures, working on bows, just to see if you got to fix something you can repair it, and you've got light that you can see what you're doing. And as you go down the line, like I said, just an outlet here. This would be your right bank of lights. This will be your front lights, your rear lights, and your left bank of lights. That way you can turn on and off stuff as you need to. So like when you're recovering the boat at night, you can turn off the front lights. That way you're still lit up and you can see everything behind you, but you're not staring into a bank of bright lights that blinds you as you're looking backwards. And then here's your plug for the onboard charger. So we can plug that in without having to access the inside. And we've got our storage box that we mounted up. And this came out really good inside. I've got anchor prop equipment. This is the normal prop that'll be on there. We'll take the test prop off, like I said, once we get the timing set. And you've got 8 chairs inside of there, 2 throwables, pads that are required by Maryland here, and then you've got our foot controls for the trolling motor. So that all fits nicely inside that box, and it's enough weight that we attached it to the console via this 4x4. It's lagged into each side of the 4x4, and then there's enough weight in there that that thing's not going to move in wind and stuff like that. So when you come around back over here, I'll go inside the console here and show you what we got. Open it up. So on the door we've got a fire extinguisher mounted, and we've got this dry box that I've got various things in it, like the keys for the boats I've got in here. You've got the Garmin fish finder and some fuses for the motor that you need, and then the remote control for the lights that are inside the boat. So you can see them here and where it comes down there, but all the way around the inside edge is some LED lights that'll light up the edge of the boat on the inside while you're bow fishing at night. So that way you've got a little bit of ambient light inside the boat. And the lights also come up all the way inside here, and they light up the inside of the console. So do a quick overview on the console. If you missed that video, go back, you can see how we did all the electric. But I've got the white light is just stored down here. And then you've got 2 batteries for the trolling motor, the 2 big ones, and then this middle battery works the starter. It powers the LED lights, the red and green on the front, and the white light that's on top for the marker light, as well as power trim and tilt and the fish finder. So that battery will take care of those. You've got your onboard charger mounted up here. That keeps all 3 banks charged and ready to go for me. And then you can see I got about as neat of a job as I could with all the wiring in here to try to keep it reasonable. I also have some extra straps that I've got just thrown in here for now. Some ratchet straps, some bungees. The bungees can be used on the bow holders. I've got these eyes here on each side, so that way you can actually put a bungee around the bows while if you're driving for a longer distance between spots. You can hang all the bows up, put the bungee on there, and then it'll hold it tight so they're not bouncing around while you're moving. So that's the console. You can go back and watch that video as well if you want to see how I built the console. Got a tight door on it. But that's pretty much it on the boat. The last thing that I've added to it is this pole that's painted. It's drying now. That's actually going to be a camera mount that'll get bolted on here, and it'll stick up high, so that way it'll be higher than where I'm at now, but you'll be able to sit and watch the front of the boat as we bow fish. So we messed with the height, got it set about where we want it, so that way when you put this camera that I'm using now, you'll be able to see us on the front bow fishing, and I'll show you what's going on. You'll be able to see in the water and stuff like that. I'll also carry a head mounted like GoPro action camera as well. So that'll be how we'll do our filming for this. Overall, you're 8 feet wide, and you've got just about 10 feet back to the box here. It's a little under 10, but close enough. And then you'll have your fish bucket in the middle. Obviously, this will be deployed, so when you're bow fishing, that'll be down. We'll be using that to actually move the boat around. So you're gonna have a huge, almost 10 by 8 space to actually move around the boat and shoot. But overall, that's our boat. The last thing that I'll do at some point, I may add the gates in here. We'll see how I like it without the gates. Right now I'm going to leave them off and just see what I think of it. But like I said, that's the build. It is completely done. If you have any questions, you feel free to ask them. I can tell you how I did things. I can go into a little more detail. I know some of the videos weren't the best explanation. You just watched a lot of what we did. But if you have any questions on how we did something, feel free to send me a message or comment, and I will give you the best answer that I can on how we did it. But overall, I'm super happy with the way this thing came out. I cannot wait to get it on the water. It's currently Thursday. We're planning to go out Sunday evening. The weather looks great. The tides look like they're going to be good for us. So hopefully it's a good maiden voyage. It hasn't rained all week, and there's no rain between now and when we go out. So hopefully the water conditions are really good, and we're going to have a really good night on the water for our maiden voyage on this thing. I'm just ecstatic to get this on the water. It's been a little over a year in development that I've been thinking about how I want to do this. Finally got a chance to do it, and now this is where we're at. So we're ready to roll. Be ready for the maiden voyage video to come out soon. Like I said, it's currently Thursday. I'm going to try to get this video posted the next day or so, and we'll be ready to get the maiden voyage filmed and I'll get that out as soon as I can. But like I said, I am super excited right now. I'm super happy with the way this thing came out, and I just cannot wait to see how this thing is on the water. It should be just awesome bow fishing. So that's it for now. They said stay tuned. Hopefully soon we'll have the maiden voyage video out, and you guys that have been watching this will get to see how this thing is on the water, what it looks like, and how all our work is paid off. So that's it for now. Thanks again. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notifications so you can see when our maiden voyage comes out, and you can see all this project come together, and give me some feedback on what you think.